Hi, my name is SYAZWANI BINTI FAZI and my match number is 81838482. Statistic is about analyzing, summarizing and understanding data. This class collect and analyze large amount of data to extrapolate population from a representative sample. The most common type of statistical analyzing are descriptive and inferential. Descriptive statistics organizes, summarizes and presents data. Table and graph will illustrate the data. Easy to understand, phrase describe data features. Inferential statistics draws conclusion about a population from a sample. Many people share a trait in a population. The mean, mode and median can be calculated using this data. This study seeks to identify necessary data and variables. To explain and characterize secondary data, use the right table. This study calculates and interprets secondary dataset, central tendency, variation and position measure. The dataset include Malaysian sales, income, comprise, advertising, population, shelf lot, age and urban. This data is used to understand Malaysia population sales, comprise, income, advertising, price, shelf lot, age and urban environment. This report will explain how the data was collected, processed and interpreted using statistical software and population-based theoretical model. This is a table of variable used, and the table reveals which measurement method is used to determine the variable from the four variables. The first is ordinal and the second is ratio.
Assalamualaikum, my name is MOHAMAD and ALIF and RONZI. My match number is 818274. I will explain it about the graphical representation. As we can see in the table, we show the statistic. It shows that a sales, population, comprise, shelf lot lines, which is four type of variable. One is categorical and three more is about the numerical variable. We also represent with the graph, which is three type of graph. First is about the histogram, second is about pie chart, next is about the polygon chart. First chart is a pie chart. Pie chart is a type of graph in which a circle is divided into a sectors that each represent a proportion of the whole. Next is about histogram. Histogram is that present the group data with the rectangular bars to present the value or to show the comparison among the categories. To find the midpoint, lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. Next is about the line chart. Line chart is a graphical representation of an asset's historical price action that connects a series of data points with a continuous line.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is AIMAN from JAMANI. My ID number is A21B2369. Now I move to the measure of central tendency, which is mean, median, and mode. As for sale, the mean in thousand at each location is RM7.46. Moving to the median, about 75% of the unit sale in thousand at each location is RM7.37. Lastly, the mode, which is the highest of the unit sales in thousand at each location is RM7.14. Next, the mean for the population size in the region in 100 is RM24. The median, about 75% population size in the region in 100 is RM224.05. Lastly, the mode or the highest price charged by competitors at each location is RM92.97. Last but not least, the mean for the price charged by a competitor at each location is RM124.4. The median of about 50% of the price charged by a competitor at each location is RM153.956. The mode or the highest price charged by competitors at each location is RM122.214.
In the measure of central position, we have three items, which is sale, competitor price and population. All of the items we've been used was calculated manually. So, in this slide, I will explain about the interquarter range for each item. Interquarter range can be calculated when we subtract the quarter 3 answer with the quarter 1. Therefore, the result after we do the calculation about the interquarter range for sale is 4.499. Next, the interquarter range for competitor price is 23.694. And the interquarter range for population is 238.28.
Hi, my name is AZAMUDDIN bin KHALID. My number matrix is A21A3312. So this is the measure of central variation. The formula to find the sample variance is S the power of 2 equals 1 over n minus 1 times in bracket total fx power of 2 minus total of fx in bracket power of 2 divided by n. So you will get sales 2,228.881, comprise 652,633.009, and population is 2149012.831. After that, the standard deviation is the number you get in sample variance, and then you square root the sample variance, so you will get sales, comprise and population respectively 47.211, 807.857, 1465.951. For the range, you will get 16.57 for sales, 98 for comprise, 499 for population.
You can see it shows the frequency of histogram of the sample cells. The table shows the highest sale is 5.68 until 8.43, which is we got the 34.7%. It's followed by 8.44 until 11.19, which is we got the 24.7%. We continue to the 2.92 until 5.67, which is we got 23.3%. We go through 11.20 until 30.95, which is we got 12%, and the lowest of the sale is 0.16 until 2.91, which is 5.3% from overall. Next is about the pie chart. The pie chart show the highest shelf lot sample for is a medium, which is we got the 56.7%, followed by bad 22.7%, and good also 22.7%. The data show the shelf lot group good is the lowest than other group, which is in the shelf lot group just 20.7% from the overall. This is about the polygon chart. The polygon chart show the highest group of population is 10 until 109.6, which is we got 23.3%, followed by the 209.4 until 309, 22.7%. Next is 309.1 until 408.7, which is 20%. Next is 109.7 until 209.3, 18.7%. And the lowest in this group is 408.8 until 508.4. We got 50.3% from the overall.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Mohamad bin FARIDIL AZHA. My metric number is 821A2663. I'm going to present about statistical analysis using software. Measure of the price competitor price and population. The data of mean median mode show a different result because of the SPSS cannot detect data accurately. From SPSS, we cannot sure if the data was accurate because it might be an error to the data. So using the manual calculation might be more accurate and correctly. Next, measure of position. The result SPSS for data for quartile and range is not the same as manual. Using the manual calculation, we could see the large difference of the number, and using SPSS does not make the data was correct. Last one, measure of variation. The same thing happened to standard variation and sample variation to the different result because of the error of system SPSS to analyze the data separately, which is the data class interval is too large.
Hi, introduce myself. I'm ATHIRAH binti Abdullah. My matrix number is A21A2707. Let me give you all about hypothesis testing. Look at one sample test for all variables. There are various categories under a field such as sale, competitive price, population, and shelf lots. The DF for all the category remains unchanged at 149. Second, about ANOVA for all variables. The factor that has been chosen is sale. The p-value from the ANOVA table is less than 0.001, which means that at least one of the three variables, which is sale, competitor, price, population, and shelf lots first. And the third, the three parts are calculated according to two categories, which are between groups and according to within groups.
Based on the descriptive statistic of the table data, coloration analysis revealed that the value of the NFL categories such as percent coloration, significant, and N, the difference in R between sales and competition price is negative 0.004, R is equal to 0.004 for sales and population. The R value between sales and shelf location is 1.000.
Next, we go to the confidence interval. In the confidence interval, we have to list some items that must be present to be calculated in the SPSS calculation, such as sale, competitor price, and other else. Therefore, I will explain about some data result from the SPSS table. The mean for the sales group is 7.4552, the upper bound is 7.9229, and the lower bound is 6.9875. The difference between upper and lower bound is 0.9354. Next is the competitor price. The mean for the competitor price group is 123.25. The upper bound is 125.82 and the lower bound is 120.69. The difference between upper and lower bound is 5.13. That's all I can share in this slide. The other information can be found in the SPSS table.
Theoretical modeling. The graph depicts the relationship between sales, competition price, and population. There is a strong relationship between rival pricing and sales, as well as population and competitor price. There is no evident relationship between population and sales or between sales and population. Sales and population have a strong relationship among the independent variables.
Now for the theoretical modeling, the figures show the relationship between population, competitive price, and sale. Sales, population, and competitive price all have a strong relationship with one another. Population and sale, as well as sale and population, do not clearly correlate. There is a strong correlation between the independent variable between population and sale. Next, the correlation figure shows sales correlate highly with competitive price, population, share flow 1, and sale. There is no significant correlation between sale with sales. Competitive price correlates highly with sale, population, and share flow. There is no significant relation between competitive price with competitive price. Population correlates highly with sale. There is no significant relation between population and competitive price and share flow. Share flow correlates highly with competitive price and sale. There is no significant correlation between share flow and population. Lastly, as for the model summary, the R-square value is 0.281, which means 28.10% of the variation in sales can be explained by the share flow, sales, competitive price, and population. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, several methods were used to calculate the values of the descriptive variables for sales, for price, share flow, and the data population in Malaysia, such as data arrangement, graphical representation, a measure of central tendency, a measure of variation, and a measure of position. As a first step, to arrange the data given, frequency distribution was used to calculate the number of classes, class interval of width, and class limits. Then, relative frequency distribution and cumulative frequency distribution were used to arrange the data. For the graphical representation, three types of graphs were used, namely the bar chart, pie chart, and line chart. All the data calculated in the report will have a slight error because it has a different way of calculating, which is manually and the data taken from SPSS. The report shows that the statistics play a very important role in everyday life. The important thing is understanding, finding, and reading the important data discussed using SPSS.